Young residents of Katlehong on the East Rand of Johannesburg say there's an urgent need for substance treatment centres in that part of the province. Local non-profit organisation Tsohang Youth Project is calling on the private sector, government and the community to support the idea. Well, to tell us more, we're joined in studio by Isaac Mavuso, the chairperson of this particular organisation. Isaac, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the programme.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and good morning, South Africa.
Isaac, just give us an idea of how rife alcohol and drug abuse is in Katlehong.
Yeah, it's a very big problem.
Yeah.
And how visible, I mean, the visibility of it, and you would see it, especially when it's school holidays, where you'd find young people, I mean, from primary school, you know, walking around with beers, and it's not a secret. It's something that you would see on daily basis that happens over weekends. I mean, it's summer now. We're going to see a lot of that. So it literally is right, because there's a lot of graduation based on what happens with, you know, a mere thing like drinking, you know, a beer, and graduation to something else.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm gathering, I mean, when you're telling me you're seeing young primary school learners walking around with beers in their hands, obviously this starts at an exceptionally young age, this yes. Being subjected to drugs and alcohol. That's
true. It starts there, and obviously with some of the challenges that are happening, especially in terms of drugs and illicit substances, you would find people, you know, get to be introduced into that level, because, I mean, if you're drinking now, or smoking, at some point it becomes, you know, a habit, and you want to find out what else is out there, and other people get to be, you know, victims of, you know, being introduced to drugs without their knowledge, but then they get hooked. So it is one of those things that is literally ripe and literally unfortunate.
Would you say that it's in schools as well? I mean, it's obviously infiltrated right into schools, and that's where would it be that they're being introduced to it in a schooling level, or is it also, and I imagine this is part and parcel of the problem, in their households? They're looking at their parents, their brothers, their uncles, their aunts participating in this kind of behavior, and it's where they're learning it from.
Yes. Look, I mean, from school, I mean, the school behavior that you would find is that it is something that happens from at home. Yeah. In the community, people get to see some of this stuff, and then at school, the behavior that is introduced, or that people get to show, it's basically what they've learned from home. So they're just expressing it at school, and then with the opportunists taking, you know, advantage of that space in terms of either introducing, you know, the actual drugs, you know, the smoking, and then smoking dacha to, you know, other drugs, you know, whether it's sweets, lollipops, and however way it's introduced. But you would find it starts from home, and then it is experienced right at school.
Yeah, look, the reality is it's everywhere, and what needs to be stopped are the dealers. Yes. And that's a big problem. But at the same time, what you're really calling for are rehabilitation centres, because those that are addicted and their lives are being destroyed, they need some form of help. What is the current situation? What does it look like now? I mean, are there any centres, or are there a few that are completely full?
I mean, there isn't enough. There are that are, you know, centres, but there are not a lot of them. It's just few, and there's a huge backlog in terms of waiting lists for people. So, I mean, the initiative that we have on One Casa, One Treatment Center, is that the government needs to look at that, to say in every township or in every area, there must at least be one center that is, you know, to service this huge need that we have. In that way, I mean, I'm sure there would be alleviation of some of the problems that we are experiencing, but at the current rate, we're not, you know, even far. Yes, there's initiatives that the government is having. I mean, for instance, we have partnered with the Department of Government, I mean, the Department of Social Development, as well as Sanka. We have a day clinic where people come in, but it's still not enough. There's an initiative around that. It's still not enough because people are not sleeping there. The behavior has not changed. You find the circumstances still the same at home. How do you deal with that? You don't have time. So we're asking that there should be one Casa, one treatment center, so that people can literally get into those spaces from their townships, with the empowerment of the day clinic as well as the rehabilitation centers where people can spend time. Those who need to and those who don't can use the day clinics.
Yeah, you talk about there are unlawful centers that exploit people. Talk to us a little bit more about this. What are these? Are they illegal operations, or what is it all about?
Look, if you look at the issue of drugs, there's a lot of people that would start initiatives that would be looking mainly in making sure that people come in. They charge exorbitant amounts, and a lot of people that we have, in the township, they don't have money. To do that. There are that I'm sure that a lot of them that are legal, but still, the money that people need to pay from that,
it's exorbitant.
It's literally only rich people can either afford to do that, but it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be the case. We should have these centers that literally are looking at empowering people from the places where they're at, because some of them, even if they are available, they're very far. You still need to spend a lot of money to go there. You still need to have money to eat when you get to there, and so it literally is a challenge. It's not enough what we have at the moment.
Yeah, and it's almost not an answer, because as soon as you get back, you thrust straight into it, and
yes.
And the temptation is everywhere you look, and it's a very difficult thing. You're hosting your third One Casa, One Treatment Center campaign.
Yes.
It's happening 25th of this month. Talk to me, how's it going to work? What are you doing?
Okay, so the initiative is around, say, we need to lobby for government and all the other institutions to think of this and to support this initiative where we're trying to pioneer this One Casa, One Treatment Center. So the initiative, on the 25th, what we'll be having is, it's a community that will be coming in, different people, different stakeholders. Our guest speaker is the Executive Mayor of Ekurhuleni, Councillor Mzwandile Masina, and Anastasia Mutlong, who is also the chairman on youth and disabled people in Ekurhuleni. So those are the people, and then we also have invitations that we've sent to institutions like the NMPD choir, the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department, as well as the Boksburg Correctional Service Choir, to come and embrace and celebrate the day while we're trying to make this awareness and to say, hey, this is a challenge, this is an initiative, so we want to create that awareness so that people get to know about this, and we're hoping that government would listen at some point and take the initiative.
When you talk about the fact that you hope that government will listen, is there any government intervention, interest from government in terms of officials visiting, trying to assist, plans to open any form of rehabilitation center? Have you heard anything?
So at the moment, what we had when we started this, there was nothing, and when we started there was nothing, but now we have this daycare clinic which we are part of.
Okay.
But it's not necessarily enough. We're excited that it's happening, but it's not enough. So what we want to see is this initiative taking, the next level, to saying, can we build these institutions that will help people right in the township where people are at, where people can just walk to those places and be serviced professionally, like perhaps where they do in the professional areas where they charge exorbitant amounts, but to have that within our doorsteps in the very township. There is, but it's not enough. There is more that could still be done. And again, it takes, I think the other thing is that it's very slow. It takes time to make turns around these initiatives. Like, we're still waiting for some of the processes to happen. It started last year, and we're still waiting for some of the things to happen so that we empower people who are in the day clinic. So it's happening, but it's not in the pace in which we would like it to happen.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks for visiting us here in studio and talking to us about a very real problem, and a problem that, as much as you're focusing on Katlehong, there's so many areas in South Africa that need exactly what you're talking
Yes.
about. So I'm sure your movement is part of a greater problem, and many other movements in different respective townships and different areas as well. But thank you and good luck for the 25th. Please keep us updated.
Yes,
All right.
we'll do so.
Thanks, Isaac.
Thank you very much.
very much for joining us. We're going to take a break here on the program, and